it going, guys? Welcome to a brand new Proyectos Los Carnales. My name is Julio and we have the Denali. Today what we're gonna end up doing to this thing is setting it on a drop. The only reason for that is because I got tired and at the same time I got my hands on some parts. Alright, so the parts list on this thing is actually a full flip kit. We got the flip kit components, the plaque, the part that goes on top of the differential to hold the U-bolts, and the C-notch. On this one we're gonna probably throw some more welds because there's a lot of spots that aren't welded on. So just gonna add a little bit more reinforcement there. And then we got the 2/3 inch lowering springs. I want to say they're 2-inch springs since I have a single cab, and on crew cabs and whatnot it drops at 3. So for right now we're just gonna drop it 2 inches in the front and an extra 6 in the back. Alright, and for now we're gonna get started on La Denali. We're gonna actually start by removing the bed. Like always, we have the crane right there for everything, and we already have some straps on here. Make a cross, set up the crane in the middle, lift the bed off of this, and have no issues at all. So I'll be back, guys. Right now I'm gonna just pull off the bed. You guys already know the deal. It's like 6 or 8 bolts, 18 millimeters from the bottom on the frame holding the bed. And then I'm gonna scoot it forward and take off the wheels and start the rest. And right now what we're doing is we're gonna remove the wheels, throw some big jack stands on the actual frame, and then we got a jack over here we're gonna put under the differential so we can lift the diff, remove the shocks, and relieve some tension. That way we could start removing everything and doing what we gotta do. But like I said, we just wrapped up a strap and have it set up on the hoist. Helps pick up all the weight, get everything out, and make all the access easier. We're just gonna put we're gonna put a jack under that differential and start removing things like the drive shaft and stuff and getting everything ready. All right, so we got the shocks off, and it's just a 13/16 on the top and bottom bolt, and we got all these bolts out of the way as well. The U-bolts, the actual bolts that hold them down, and then the bottom should just, you know, start wiggling out. You could push it out of the way, and there's a holder right there in the bottom, and the actual U-bolts just slip up. These are gonna get reused in this particular kit. We got the other side loose already, and we took the bolts off of the shackle. So we're gonna come to the hangers. On the hangers, especially on the fuel pump, you're gonna want to use a 15/16 wrench to hold the nut, and use a 12 millimeter socket to grab the tip of this, because it has a hex so you can fit a socket, and it's a 12 millimeter. And then loosen this bolt as much as you can, and the passenger side completely comes out because it doesn't have anything in the way. The exhaust is right there close to it, but it's not really in the way per se. But we're gonna do that. We're gonna fully remove the passenger side leaf spring, and then this one just loops around, and I'll kind of record that process so you guys could see. But from here on out, I'm gonna just lower the differential and take off the brake lines so the differential's closer to the floor and not in the way of us messing with the leaf springs. So this is the passenger leaf spring, and I took it all the way out so you guys could see exactly what's going on. Pretty much you have the center bolt right here. You want to put a clamp on each side so it doesn't lose its position, and make it tight so they don't wiggle around in there. But you're gonna put a pair of rounded vice grips on one end. That's a rounded head. On the other side it has a nut. The nut's a 15 millimeter, and it's pretty simple. You just remove it, slip out the center bolt, and then just put it in backwards. So now we're just gonna put it in through here, put the nut on this side, and then we're gonna grab our impact and torque it all the way down, and then we're gonna put this back. But right before we put this one back, we're actually gonna start cutting the C-notch, that way nothing's in the way, and then we're gonna move over to the driver's side. All right, so the C-notch is nice and laid out already. We got some beads on there, got the ends welded on, and just a little bit in the middle. The biggest reason I'm doing it like this is because I'm kind of making it temporary. Kind of not sure what route to go, big step notch or something, but for now that's why I welded all the edges and just 2 spots in the middle in case I ever need to break it off. I could just, you know, grind it out and get it out easy. But we have everything measured out. We got the C channel and everything. We got everything lined up correctly, and then setting up the welder on the other end to do the same. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the actual C-notch part. All right, guys, so we already did the C-notch and everything. We're gonna actually do on the driver's side. Like I mentioned, we're not gonna take off the leaf. We did take out the nut that's holding the bolt back there. On the back side, you just pretty much kind of wiggle it side to side and lift it up off its back. And then from here, you're gonna go over the differential, and with all your strength you can muster, just step by step move it over and over and over until it goes under the differential. So let me go at it a little bit. That's 2. All right, I just repositioned because I was hitting this little metal bar, but we got it like about halfway. You just down, down, down. Now that we have this coming down, we're gonna pick up the jack a little. All right, guys, so right now I'm gonna use two people. I got my wife in the back of the camera. She's actually gonna help me by holding the differential while I jack it up so it doesn't lean side to side. But we just need to pick up the back of the leaf spring, put it on the shackle, and then have the differential high enough so the leaf spring bolts up. Once that's through, we're gonna put the U bracket from the flip kit, and I'll be back to show you guys that section. I'm gonna just get this through, but I just wanted to show you guys the leaf spring. You literally just roll it over and go under. Once it's under here, pick up the differential and get this rolling. All right, guys, so we have the flip kit officially installed. We got the little U/flip kit. I call it the little U cradle. Pretty much cradles the differential, and you guys can see how it goes around both ends. We got the little bull horns that go on top of the differential plate right here, and that's so that they can hold the U-bolts so they don't slide out. And then lastly, we have the plate that actually holds the nuts on the U-bolts. You tighten everything down. This does use the OEM or original U-bolts and nuts, and that's the result you get. The flip kit, because the differential gets flipped from under the differential to the top, and it's gonna give us a pretty big drop. So right now we're just gonna set up to actually put the drive shaft back on and the wheels, and then once we set it down, I'm gonna be back. All right, so now we are in the front. We got the back already set up. The front, we just need to change those springs and the shocks. I do have them over there on the side. So for now, we're just gonna take off the sway bar link. It's either a 13 or 14 millimeter in the top and bottom. We're gonna take off the shocks. It's like a 16 in the top and 13 millimeter in the bottom. They're like right there somewhere. All right, so this is the midpoint of everything. The rotor's over there. I did remove the rotor and the brake because I realized I'm gonna have to drop it all the way down. So get it out of the way, throw a little S wire, bracket, whatever, make sure it's hanging. Don't put tension on your actual brake hose because that thing will burst. So aside from the front, we just took off the 18 millimeter on the top ball joint, 19 millimeter on the tie rod, the sway bar link. Aside from that, we got rid of the shock, and that's pretty much it. It's just like 3-4 big components, and then as soon as the top ball joint is out, you just slip it up. You could leave the bottom one on there, it's not gonna go nowhere. And right now we're at the point where the spring is just chilling right there. So we move that all the way to the bottom, pull in the bottom, and ta-da! We have our original spring right here. Let me go get the other one and then I'll be right back. So here we have the lowering one. This is a McGaughy's 2-3. Pretty much on a single cab, because of the weight it'll drop it 2 inches. Extended cab and crew cabs it'll drop it 3 inches. That's why it says S2 X3. But lining it up, it's a small difference right there, but remember this has a different kind of tension to it, so it's gonna give us our 2-inch drop, dropping us 2 inches lower than the original spring. So I'm gonna just do the reverse order, put the little hat or seat, whatever you want to call it, onto the lowering one and put it back in line. The bottom of this spring has like this little edge right here. Make sure you sit it right in this little edge right here. So you could tell right here where it like goes around, and right here it has a seat where it finally like finishes. I'm not sure if I could get a good camera angle with it. Make sure you put it right up to the edge. If you put it behind or you put it forward, right here it starts going up right away, you're not gonna have the correct drop. I usually clean that out and kind of put a little bit of grease on it. The top already has a rubber seat, but make sure you end it right there at the tip. If not, you're not gonna have a even 2-inch drop. All right, so we have it lubed up. We have the spring in the middle. We have it pushed towards the back. It's lined up right there towards the bottom. So once we start pushing the jack, it'll compress the spring straight up. Now with the jack itself, you want to position it as close as you can, but not under the ball joint. That way you could still move this apart freely. So you could actually line it up where it needs to go. So you got the jack on there. The spring is still compressing, going straight up. Make sure this doesn't come out or anything. It's nice and deep in there. The seat's correct. The bottom angle, just check it, it's correct. I can't really get it with the camera, but I could see it with my eye. So we're just gonna jack it up a little bit more, just so we could get it in the range for the upper ball joint to go back in its place. And then the tension will be returned to the suspension. All right, let me use both of my hands for this part. Pretty much we're just gonna move this here, lift the ball joint and put it down right on this hole and put the nut under it. That way this doesn't spread or move anymore. I'll be right back. So we put the tie rod back in its place and I pulled it out. So it's back in its place, the nut's not under. The same with the control arm. I put it inside the hole. You just push it all the way down and I have the nut right here. You just get a bunch of good threads in there. And then once your threads are on and up all the way, you are good. I'm gonna just set up the tie rod and pretty much go grab the shock and put the lowering shock in the middle, so I could actually get this a little bit more situated. But that's how you pretty much just lift the lower control arm, get it back on here with the lowering spring in the middle. And then once again, I'm gonna drop it. It's in its correct position. Everything looks fine right there. And the top, double check everything. You don't want to tighten everything and go back and realize it's not in its correct area. All right, so we got the shock on there. We got the double nuts on top so that it doesn't back out. Springs in position, sway bar links tightened down. Tie rod, ball joint, everything's tightened. So the last thing to the puzzle is just putting on the rotor and then the rotor and then the caliper and then putting on the wheel. Before that, just make sure you pump a bit of grease. These, you know, ball joints and tie rod looks like it needs a little bit. And after that, we're gonna be done with lowering the front end. You don't want to go, so I'm gonna just put this, filling it up. Yeah, don't go overboard and filling up the grease. Just a few pumps is more than enough just to get it set up correctly. If you put too much, it'll pop out the little gasket that actually holds the grease. So don't overfill it. All right, so this is the final product or final result. Like I said, greased everything with like 3 or 4 spots only. Spring everything on. When you clean up, you know, you put your brakes and everything. Make sure you put this back. It has a stop here for a reason, so that the wire doesn't interfere with the rest of the suspension. If you don't have it, zip tie is more than acceptable. Right here, this just clips in. You make sure you connect it back. It's your ABS. You don't want that thing going crazy. But that's pretty much how the final product looks. Final step, I'm gonna just throw on the wheel and then drop it, and we'll go and finish off the other side. The other side's already done. I just need to put the tire on the other side, but it just makes it easier to have them both in the air, free time. But yeah guys, let me throw on this wheel real quick. Fingers crossed those needles fit because they're the 285s. Fingers crossed those 285 45s fit on here. If they don't, I'm gonna just throw on the 20s or probably even stocks in the back. I couldn't do the 20s or 22s in the back of this one. I had to get the stock, so the other two are over there. I just would prefer to throw on the 22s because I really like them. And the tires still really good. Their needles are really good. I've been looking around here. There's a couple rough spots right here, so I'm kind of like worried that it might not fit. But if I could force it in there, we'll see what happens. There we go guys. Now we have the front actually sitting and it looks pretty parallel. It's only a 2-inch drop in the front and it looks really good. I really like it. It looks really even to me. But next up is a test drive, and fingers crossed we still have a good clearance all around.
We had to go with a little bit smaller tire due to the drop, so it was rubbing on the inside. Tire size that we went to was a 265 3522. I don't know if you guys could see that right there. But basically, it was hitting up here with that taller tire. So a little bit thinner tire, like I said, but drivability on it is still perfect.
In the back for the step side, guys, if you have a step side, you know that this plastic saves the step side's life if you have a blowout. I didn't want to get rid of the inside plastic. It has the metals are kind of stiffening the bed a bit, but the plastic is what's doing most of the life saving. So going with the really small profile tire, I didn't really want to do it, but I'd rather do that than get rid of the safety on that. You know, the tires probably what, like 150 each, and these panels are about $750 shipped already from Street Concept. So that's the reason we went with this tire in the back. And you guys see it. I really like the way the truck looks. It's sitting on the 2.6 drop. We only did the springs in the front, so it has the smallest squat, but I think it's perfect just the way it is. Another 2 inches and we might not be able to fit the front wheels. So right here with this process, we had the 8-inch drop in the back. We brought it up to the 6, and I don't know, I just feel like it just sits just right where I want it to be. And that's pretty much it, guys, for the Denali. I wanted to make this video of dropping my personal truck because I drop trucks left and right, and I was like, hey, you know what, I already have one truck that's, you know, lifted, so might as well get this one a lot lower. And I decided to go ahead and lower this one. And if anybody's planning on lowering their truck, here you go, there's the video for you guys. If you have an NBS and this is a comfortable stance that you want to go with, the 2.6 or 4.6 drop is going to be perfect for you guys. And this is the tire size if you're running 22s. So guys, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what kind of vehicles you guys have. There's a lot of different trucks I have different videos of. If you guys want to see it, let me know. And that's it. We'll see you guys on the next one.